guide all our councils and actions.
Order 63. I start to move the motion.
I rise to support Francis College.
President,
Very total.
presenting the...
We invited regarding the removal. There are no Senate duties. I take it early.
Senator Jones for
Presentation of a bill.
If they do, villages are not.
Then they now send it. I think we should be beyond the pride.
Additional prayer.
I so move, Mr. President. The ayes have it.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Inside the Senate. I am your regular anchor Hadiza Bayero Aliu. As it were, the Senate is still on recess and is billed to resume Tuesday next week, which is the 27th of January 2026. As we wait for it to reconvene, we shall continue to bring you reports of some activities that took place before the recess. One of such was a public hearing by the Senate Committee on Agricultural Production Services and Rural Development as it considered 3 establishment bills aimed at boosting the nation's economy and agricultural sector. The Committee on Labor, Employment and Productivity also organized a one-day public hearing on the Nigeria Social Security Trust Fund Establishment Bill. Reports of these activities make up this episode of Inside the Senate. Join me after this time out for the full program.
We are going to focus more on delivering dividend of democracy.
We're going to put a law in National Assembly for independent candidates. To say 26 years of unbroken democracy is a plus to all Nigerians.
What we're expecting is the impact of this growth on the lives of the ordinary people of Nigeria. One good democratic action is better than a million beautiful, sweet-sounding words.
Welcome back. The Senate Committee on Agricultural Production Services and Rural Development held a one-day public hearing on 3 bills, namely Cassava Flour Mandatory Inclusion into Flour Production Establishment Bill 2023, the National Food Reserve Agency and for Related Matters, and Rice Development Council of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2024. The event brought together various stakeholders in the agricultural sector across the nation. For more on the event, let's take our first report on the program.
I'm coming here in a representative capacity.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio was represented by Senator Tahir Mongono. In his address, he declared that tapping into cassava's potential will create jobs, cut imports, and boost agro-processing industries, ultimately uplifting rural farmers' living standards. The Senate President added that passing these bills will drive food security, employment, and ease insecurity.
As a result of the importance of this 3 bills to the attainment of not only food security, but create the necessary employment with the attendant effect of reducing the problem of insecurity that we are facing as a country, I urge all stakeholders, farmers, policymakers, civil society, and experts to participate fully in shaping these bills. Your contributions will propel us towards a Nigeria where our children inherit not scarcity but surplus.
It is my profound respect.
Also speaking, the chairman of the committee, Senator Saliu Mustafa, emphasized the importance of the 3 bills, assuring that they will help reduce wheat imports, diversify Nigeria's food options, create jobs, and uplift farmers' living standards.
This forward-thinking legislation seeks to blend our abundant cassava harvest into wheat production, thereby reducing our crippling $5 billion annual wheat importation, creating jobs for our teeming unemployed youth, and improving the living standard of smallholder farmers. Imagine a Nigeria where every loaf of bread, every pastry, and every noodle not only nourishes our body, but also bolsters our economy, turning our golden tubers into a pillar of self-reliance.
Today, actually, it's a good day because...
In his remarks, Minister of Agriculture, Senator Abubakar Kyari, highlighted cassava's massive production potential, noting its versatility and various consumption forms. He threw his weight behind the bills.
Not too long ago, I was in Brazil and I saw what Brazilians do with cassava. Unbelievable.
They have over 2,000 products from cassava alone. 2,000. And you could just imagine if we could develop our cassava along those lines. You can't even differentiate the difference between, not even bread, cake, pastries, from cassava cake and the normal wheat flour cake. You cannot differentiate. You cannot differentiate bread that is made of cassava and that of wheat. So this is a very good idea, and I commend the chairman for presenting this worthy bill, and we are in support.
We will support this.
Stakeholders at the hearing supported the general principles of the bill.
Nigeria today import billions of dollars worth of food ingredients and raw materials that can be derived locally from cassava. By scaling up investment in native and modified starches, sweeteners, and texturizers, we can replace a significant portion of those imports, save foreign exchange, and create new industries. By developing affordable, high-quality RTE products, we can feed our children better, strengthen local MSMEs, and reduce hunger and malnutrition across the nation.
For us as master bakers, we are ready, 100% ready, to partner with this bill. It's for us as master bakers, we are ready, 100% ready, to partner with this bill. It is a bill that is long overdue. We have been waiting for it for a very long time, and we are fully prepared because we are the end users of this flour. And on several occasions, we have gone around almost the country to have got it tested, and it's workable and edible.
NCGA, as you know, is the umbrella body of the Nigerian Cassava Farmers and Growers Association. So far we have garnered more than 500 hectares of land across the 7 full local governments of the country to ensure that at least we are going to flood this country with flour if this bill actually scaled. So we're trying our best to see that we will support this bill.
Most of the
There were some reservations on the Rice Development Council of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2024.
The idea of having an agency to handle food emergencies, food reserve, food security issues is a very good one. And therefore, at the ministry, we would not say this is out of place, it cannot be done, but we'll talk about proliferation of agencies to handle ministerial mandates. We can't look at it, we have not seen the bill, we just saw it now, I was just going through it, and did not see the mandate of the agency, proposed agency, NAFRA. I did not see the mandate to be sure that it's only handling food security issues. That is, food, buffer stock, society grain reserve, just issue around getting the food, storing the food, protecting the food, release of the food for national emergencies. If it is that, I'm sure the ministry and stakeholders will be well disposed to it.
Your Excellencies, in spite of the fact that we are giving our support to this bill, and we want it because we believe in it. We believe we have pushed on it, and it has come back to this stage, and we're here to support it. We wish Your Excellencies to recommend certain little amendments to the bill while, it's been discussed for passage.
We fully support it, but we have some few observations due to time constraint. The membership and composition of the council already includes refund, but our recommendation is that its representation should be institutionalized through the National Executive Council of Refund, ensuring that the elected farmers' leaders, not appointees, will represent the grassroots farmers' interests.
The three bills are currently at the second reading in the Senate, hence the convocation of the public hearing for input from relevant stakeholders. The committee is set to put together a report for presentation to the Senate for third reading and eventual passage. On a sad note, the remains of Senator Godia Akwashiki were laid to rest on Saturday, 17 December 2026. This was preceded by a funeral mass held at St. William Cathedral, Lafia, after which he was buried in his residence in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Senate President Godswill Akpabio was represented by his deputy, Senator Barau Jibrin, who alongside the State Governor Abdullahi Sule and other dignitaries and well-wishers paid tribute to the late senator. Until his death, Senator Godia Akwashiki represented Nasarawa North Senatorial District on the platform of the SDP. He died on December 31, 2025, at the age of 52 after a protracted illness.
That was a report from the one-day public hearing organized by the Senate Committee on Agricultural Production Services and Rural Development. Let's now take a break for the Senate Notebook. More reports when we return. Don't go away.
The rules guiding membership of Senate committees provide that each special and standing committee shall comprise of not less than 5 members and not more than 10 members, including the chairman and vice chairman. The rules also provide that no senator shall serve as a member of more than 3 committees, while committee chairmen shall not serve as members of more than 2 other committees. None of the members of the selection committee is allowed to be a committee chairman but can serve as a member of other committees as provided for by the rules.
Thanks for staying tuned, and if you're just joining us, the program is Inside the Senate. We'll continue on the program with a report of the one-day public hearing organized by the Senate Committee on Employment, Labor and Productivity on the Nigeria Social Security Trust Fund Establishment Bill 2025. The objective of the bill includes consolidate administrative functions and eliminate duplications, expand eligibility to include workers in the informal sector and those in precarious employment, and enhance accountability and transparency through robust oversight mechanisms.
On the public hearing of the committee,
in the opening remarks, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who was represented by Senator Olalere Oyewumi, said the bill aims to align security laws, streamline admin tasks, and cover informal workers, adding that passage of the bill will boost national security, labor welfare, and economic growth.
This bill is a crucial step towards harmonizing our social security laws, consolidating administrative functions, and expanding coverage to include workers in the informal sector. Its passage will strengthen our national security system, promote labor welfare, and contribute significantly to economic growth. We have received feedback from stakeholders, and it is crystal clear that there are interests in this bill. Some support it, while others have concern. This is why this public hearing is vital, to gather insight and expertise that will shape the report of the committee on the bill moving forward.
I welcome you to this public hearing.
Chairman of the Committee on Labor and Productivity, Senator Dickett Plank, in his remarks said this legislation will create a unified framework, broadening coverage, enhancing benefits, and strengthening Nigeria's social security system's financial sustainability.
The overriding intent of the proposed bill principally is to harmonize the provisions of the 2 extant acts in view of the fact that they are both being implemented by the same existing statutory body, which is the NSITF. Therefore, the legislative step to harmonize these 2 legislations into one unified body of law, in my humble opinion, is apt and in tandem with the best practices across the globe.
Inherent weaknesses.
Delivering his remarks, Senator Cyril Fasuyi, who sponsored the bill, stressed that the objective of the bill cannot be overemphasized, and it is aimed at updating, streamlining, and consolidating existing laws into a more effective tool.
The principal objective is not the creation of a new institution, but the harmonization of the operations of the National Social Insurance Trust Fund, NSITF, and the Employee Compensation System under one robust legal framework to be denominated as the Nigerian Social Security Trust Fund. Key provisions of Senate Bill 557. The following provisions, which are assuredly subject to further rigorous scrutiny and input today, represent the core amendments proposed by the bill. Number one, sectoral expansion. To extend the remit of employee compensation to encompass the informal sector, an indispensable measure towards attaining comprehensive national social economic protection for the millions of Nigerians currently outside formal employment structures.
NECA aligned itself with the NLC on tripartism.
Through their contributions, some stakeholders supported the bill while others had reservations.
The bill grants the agency and its board the exclusive powers to formulate, enforce, designate, and determine key policies and criteria. Check section 3G, 51C, and 50. Without contravening force of a strong tripartite board, these powers can be used arbitrarily to the detriment of both employers and employees. The NLC demands as follows: the sanctity of the tripartite governance structure. The tripartite structure of the existing management board under ECA must be preserved and strengthened. The core of the fund's governance must remain equal representation of government, employers, and labor, ensuring no single interest can dominate. We demand enhanced workers' representation. In the true spirit of tripartism, labor should have an enhanced representation.
My reservation on the bill is the ambiguity in the use of the term board. And I also noticed that when the sponsor of this bill was talking, he was repeatedly saying, he was talking about management and board. And I was thinking, possibly because of that ambiguity, that's why he was trying to re-emphasize that word, which means we need to go back and look at how the word is used. So that ambiguity actually stems from the fact that, first, the management is saddled with the responsibility of running the day-to-day affairs of the fund, whereas the board meet quarterly, sometimes possibly twice a year. So I think we need to be able to give clarity to that, to the use of that word board. So the bill uses the board to refer to the governance functions and day-to-day management. This presents structural and administrative challenges, considering that the board meets quarterly, while daily operations rest with the managing director. You can see that in section 8, subsection 2.
One of the first points that we see necessary for amendment here is the inclusion of SEC, Security and Exchange Commission, which we deem is unnecessary as it acts as a fourth actor and expands government's participation and dominance on the committee as regards the bill. More importantly, it creates a direct conflict of interest. SEC's mandate is regulatory as well as enforcement, so it should supervise, monitor, and enforce compliance over investment activities, not participate in making investment decisions that it is supposed to oversee. This undermines transparency, blurs boundaries, and risks politicizing the management of the fund. Then our second major point is that the investment committee's powers, although the bill empowers the committee to develop an investment policy, it does not mandate clear statutory investment thresholds or risk management limits. This omission is dangerous. Without mandatory safeguards, the fund becomes vulnerable to 1, over-concentration of investment, 2, exposure to high-risk assets, 3, poor diversification, and 4, susceptibility to financial shocks that could lead to insolvency.
Those were details from 2 public hearings that held before the Senate went on recess. Up next is the profile segment. Our Senator of the Week is Senator Olubiyi Fadeyi Ajagunla. Let's get to know him better.
Senator Olubiyi Oluwole Fadeyi Ajagunla serves in the 10th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, representing the Osun Central Senatorial District. Elected in 2023 under the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), he defeated the then incumbent Senate spokesperson in a landmark victory. He brings to the legislature strong private sector experience, philanthropic leadership, and a development-driven approach to governance. Senator Olubiyi Oluwole Fadeyi Ajagunla was born on March 5, 1970. He hails from Irewole local government area of Osun State, Nigeria. He received his early education in 7th Day Primary School, Ile-Ife, Osun State. He holds bachelor's degree in archaeology alongside other professional certificates. Before entering politics, Senator Fadeyi built a successful career in business. He served as executive vice chairman of Fane Group with business interests spanning real estate, port infrastructure, energy services, and gaming. His business leadership is complemented by extensive philanthropic work through the Ajagunla Foundation, which provides healthcare support, youth empowerment, scholarships, vocational training, and micro-enterprise development across Osun communities. Entering active politics ahead of the 2023 general elections, he secured the PDP nomination for Osun Central Senatorial District on a platform focused on infrastructure development, education reform, economic opportunity, and social welfare. In February 2023, he was elected into the Senate after unseating the incumbent Senator Ajibola Basiru of the APC, marking a significant political shift in the district. In the Senate, Senator Olubiyi Fadeyi Ajagunla participates actively in legislative duties, community work, and constituency oversight. His legislative interests include infrastructure development, rural electrification, healthcare expansion, and social welfare.
Thanks for staying with us to the end of this episode of Inside the Senate. I trust you had an interesting time. If you missed any part of the program or a previous episode, do follow our YouTube channel for a preview of past programs. Thanks for watching and see you next time. I am Hadiza Bayero Aliyu.